I'm going to go with the Bengals squeaking by because I don't think the Bengals can rout the Chiefs. I do think a rout by the Chiefs is possible, but if I go with that, then I'm giving the Bengals no chance. And I don't think this is a 100% lock for Kansas City. Obviously, the Bengals can beat them. They beat them a few weeks ago when the Chiefs did have something to play for, which was the number 1 seed in the AFC. So the key is pressure. If they don't get pressure, they should be able to get pressure on Joe Burrow. He's very good against the pressure as well. But if they don't, if he's sacked, and if he's sacked fewer than 5 times or fewer than 6 times, then that's enough time for him to get the ball out. And people are focusing on Jamar Chase, which is understandable. He's awesome. He had almost 300 yards receiving against the Chiefs last time they played. But they got other good receivers. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon can catch the ball out of the backfield. So this offense, I think, keeps them from being routed. So, yeah, I give them a chance to win. They're on a 5-game win streak against great, 5 games when their starters play wilds. They didn't play them against the Browns last season, game of the season. But they beaten Tennessee, the Raiders, the Chiefs, Denver, I believe. So they beaten some really good teams in that 5-game win streak. So they're for real. I think it's more likely they squeak by than they get routed.
I do not sleep on the Bengals. This is going to be what I am deeming a dentist game.
Kevin Wilds.
Here's what a dentist game is. Ever have something bothering you in your mouth and you're like, you know what? I know that was bothering me. I know that's an issue, but I'm going to ignore it for a while and maybe it will go away. And then kind of it does. Every once in a while it bothers you. And then all of a sudden you go to the dentist and say, you know what? You've got a rotten tooth there. We got to pull that guy out. Look at all of the teams, the things that bothered them a few months ago have reared their head once they went to the dentist office that is the playoffs. What was Dallas's downfall? Time management, clock management. How'd they lose? Clock management. How did Tampa Bay, what was Tampa Bay's one issue? The secondary, too many injuries. What happened? What doomed them? Oh, Matthew Stafford, secondary, easy. What was the one issue for Green Bay? Special teams. They were dead last in special teams. It did them in. And early on, I said, Nick, I don't know about this defense. I don't know about the Chiefs defense. You guys are giving up a lot of points. You said, no, that's not a cavity wilds. Just ignore it. Well, and I know you hate this stat, if you take the games against the Chargers and Cincy and Denver and the Bills, that defense is allowing 30 points. I took out the Steelers games, I admit, because the Steelers are actually better than a bye. So I took them out, per your recommendation. I think that defense is a cavity in the Chiefs' mouth that might finally have to come out. I know Tyron wasn't there, but that's why I am nervous for the Chiefs.
No, it's very interesting. But just so you know, Wilds, I'm diagnosing from afar, that pain in your mouth was your mouth actually revolting against that terrible take. It's not a cavity. It was your mouth like, don't make me do it. I don't want to say this. You've been making me have these terrible Chiefs opinions all year. It's your mouth is revolting against you. So here's the deal. What's more likely is a blowout. Here's a quick question for the panel. 4 teams left. We can put everyone on the screen if you would, because I think they will just, affirm or negate visually. Of the 4 teams left this postseason, have the Chiefs been the most impressive? I think so. I think they have the best win. Their offense scored 42. Of the 4 teams, they've been the best. Of the 4 teams left this postseason, who's been the worst? Who's been the least impressive? Oh, it's the team that both of their wins against the Raiders and the Titans came down to the final play of the game. So you have the most impressive team against least impressive team. Okay, so that's an interesting fact here. Another one. What is the one thing we know about this game? We know the Chiefs are going to score at least 30 points. Well, how do we know that? Well, Patrick Mahomes has played 10 playoff games, but really only 9 because the Browns game, he didn't play, he got injured very early in the second half. So throw that one out. Here are the Chiefs' points in those games. I can do it quickly. 31, 31, 51, 35, 31, 38, 9 in the Super Bowl, 42, 42. So the Super Bowl against the Todd Bowles defense, Tampa front, 5 new offensive linemen. I think that's probably not going to happen against a Bengals front that doesn't have those personnel and the Chiefs' offensive lines there. So what else do we know? Oh, how are the Chiefs going to respond to the emotions of this divisional round win versus how the Bengals are going to respond? Well, we have no context for how the Bengals will respond. Luckily, the Chiefs always play emotional divisional round games. 2 years ago, they're down 24-0 to the Texans, come all the way back and win. How do they respond? Oh, they scored 35 and blow out the Titans. Last year, they win a game where Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. Chad Henne. Anything is possible play. Final offensive play of the game. How do they respond there? Oh, they scored 38 on Buffalo. And then lastly, is Patrick Mahomes, we can show you the numbers now, is he the greatest playoff quarterback ever? Well, he's on pace to be. That's all-time rankings, but that's going to take a long time. Here's what won't take a long time. Is Patrick Mahomes having right now the greatest postseason run ever? The answer to that is yes. A 131 rating.
He's going to score. 9
total touchdowns. The one pick was a tip pass. Actually, more yards per rush than yards per pass. 440 yards per game. And Broussard, what's the competition he's done it against? Well, the Defensive Player of the Year plus Mike Tomlin was the first one. And the second one was the number 1 defense in football. So what's more likely? That team loses or that team blows the doors off the happy to be here Bengals? Guys. If this has 42-17 written all over.
No way.
Certainly more likely than the Chiefs losing. Oh, what's the no way there?
Right,
You think it's hard for them to score 42 again, like they did last week and the week before?
Everything you said, I agree with.
Is exactly
everything
right.
you said.
Yeah,
Their offense has been terrific, not just this year in the playoffs, but all the playoff games that Mahomes has played in. You're right. But you didn't address what Wild said. What about the other side of the ball? I mean, the Chiefs are going to win, I believe.
Care.
But they might win 42-36 like they did last week.
That's right.
They might, or something, whatever the final score was. They might win 42-38. Like, are they going to stop the Bengals? That's the thing. And I don't know. That defense has been leaky in the last month. Plus, there's no doubt about it. We saw what
we're officially.
So that's the thing.
You guys have doubted me on the
I think
Chiefs
it's
are
going
back.
to be a
good
game. It's going to be a good game.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.